Welcome, welcome, welcome. Megatron, Silver Bullet, Subliminal Vibrations. Who else we got? Who else is lurking? Lurking in the chat. All right, well, let's get into it. How ways men can deal with child alienation and or visitation. This is crucial. After that breakup, after that divorce, and dealing with kids. If you don't have kids, you could potentially down the road have kids, know someone that has kids who's a dad. This information can be useful. Subliminal vibrations. Awesome, brother. We'll give you some tips on how I dealt with it as well. Polska's back. Good to see Polska. He's waffling. Check out Polska's channel. Tom is back. Usman. Hey, Rad. Usman here. Happy New Year and blessings from Pakistan. I do remember you. Good to see you. Pakistani food is good stuff. Old Christian Henny. Love you, Rad. Just watched your previous video. Well, I appreciate you guys finding value in it because all your comments and chats are valuable to me. So, number one, all dads are deadbeats. Now, that's the public perception of dads and the court's perception. If that wasn't the case, we wouldn't have all of these restrictions and issues against men. So get that through your head. You're not special. You're a deadbeat. Just like me. Raise your hand if you're a deadbeat right here. Even though I take care of my kids and I've fought for them and I've given them everything I could and cried to myself to sleep by not saying I'm a deadbeat. Raise your hand right here. Let's accept that. First and foremost, we're not special because we're all deadbeats. Shout out to Manasseh. No kids here, but always a joy to see the wisdom. Good to have you again, brother. Jawara, author of 27 books, is back. Good to see Jawara. I'm sorry for your ex-wife. My girlfriend was not innocent. You know, it's fine. I am completely past it. This is why we share it. This is why we rise. We're the phoenix that rises from the ashes. One of my favorite cult songs is Phoenix. So check it out on the Love album. I got busy in my exams, just got free, and now here. Good to have you. Marty Bernard. Deadbeat stepdad. Attaboy. Well, as long as we admit we are deadbeats, that's the rock bottom. That is exactly how we move forward. Now, number two, what happened yesterday or today is not indicative of the future. What's the future? It could be a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now. All right, those, I got to get those out of the way. We're deadbeats, and what happens yesterday and today is not indicative of the future. Mao Ronan, he deadbeat as well. Good to see you, brother. Eric Zombro is back. Howdy, Rat. I wasn't a deadbeat before I won custody. Was 2 months ahead on support in case of an emergency. My ex-wife ended up being behind a few times. Attaboy. Well, the only reason I say that is because it's the public perception that men and fathers seem to be deadbeats, regardless of how amazing they are with their kids or what they do to protect their kids and provide. But anyhow, I know you're good with your kids. Good to see you, Eric. Megatron says, Spirit Walker is my cult favorite. Ooh, we're going off of Dreamtime, my brother. Good for you. I remember buying Dreamtime in 1986. Not a dad, but here to learn from the big brothers. Well, we're here to learn from you and seeing what's out there in Pakistan with the ladies. Beaten it, but not dead. There you go, Jawara. Way to play that around. Silver Bullet says, from the ashes rose a single father who loved their kids. Doesn't matter. You're always viewed as a deadbeat, says Eric. You 100%. Evening, Rad. And gentlemen, to CJ Wilkins. Check out CJ Wilkins' channel. He's dropping some truth out there, guys. Subscribe to the men I tell you to subscribe to and let me know who I can subscribe. You can never give enough time, help, or money to your women. That's exactly 100%. So whatever you do today or yesterday doesn't matter, and it's not indicative of the future. It does matter in the sense that you did your hardest, but to a lady, a mother, an ex-wife, doesn't matter. So remember that. Wear it proudly. We're deadbeats. All right. Here's how you deal with it. You never react. Not in front of the kids, not in front of the baby mama. You are a strong man. Yes, you deal with the pain separately. You deal with the pain. You deal with the pain with male friends. You deal with the pain by writing it down, getting out in nature, letting your anger come out if you're upset. Yell if you have to, but yell around nobody. Yell in the middle of a waterfall, in the middle of a mountain. You've got to move that energy. That energy is still within you. You either talk it out with your buddies. I don't really recommend therapists, but if you needed to see a male therapist, that'd be okay. Most of them are simps, and most of them kowtow to the system. But if you got good buddy friends that you can share with them, they're going to listen to you, right? That's number one. Move your energy. We must grow as Mark Zuckerberg tries to gain more knowledge. Yeah. Can you imagine him? He's part of the system. Adam is back. Good to see Adam. Megatron, keep a stoic mind when you're a deadbeat dad. Yes. Do not show your emotions. Be as cordial as possible. The courts don't know anything. Subliminal. Pakistan is in critical situation. Hate and propaganda of feminism adding on women here. Here are some people with tradition and we're good for now. Well, I think it's infiltrating their Usman, but it's good to have that perspective from Pakistan. It's everywhere, guys. Don't give them attention. Attitude, let them win by taking Western cultural cash. Never lose face. It's used against you. Yes, never, ever. You know what? If you're dealt 80% custody, you're going to walk out there. You're going to be a strong man. Yes, it hurts on the inside. I've been there. Fighting for the kids, 50-50. And it costs a lot of money and resources to do that. But most men are not able to do that, especially in very liberal states. In most states, always award the woman. You got to be strong. You cannot show your cards. If, again, number one, you let it out either through writing, you let it out in the air, under a waterfall, under a loud airplane field, you scream it out of your lungs, or you talk to men. You talk to men. You can talk to men in chats. You can talk to men in comment sections and on live streams, but never, ever show anything except strength in front of your kids and the ex. Don't quit, persevere. Losing your emotions, show weakness, 100%, brother. After all, if you run away from these days, people don't chase these people. Yes. 95% of male therapists are beta male cucks who will shame you and always take the woman's side, even in solo sessions. I always speak with like-minded men. Absolutely. And again, these men that you're going to share your information, a lot of them might not even be your friends. They might be guys online, but guys online understand that. And that's a great power of the internet. Feminism is a virus like in the zombie movies. The whole world ends up infected no matter what. Only those few survive. Well said, brother. Old man Ode in Pakistan now dying to the feminist and the Skittles agenda. What do I think about Andrew Tate and women? You know, I don't know much about him. I know he's literally in the last 6 months become a complete popular icon in terms of toxic. He's the statue of toxic masculinity. But I don't relate to him. I'm not a trillionaire. I don't live in Romania, and you know, I'm not. I don't run whatever he runs his businesses, but. And he doesn't have kids. He's never been through the system. I'm sure he's seen it, but you know, I think he has an audience, and I'm not anti. I just don't know much about him. No, Sid, once you get into your mid-30s and beyond and see everyone else winning in marriage, you realize how lucky you are. Have made it beyond their short-sighted mistake. That's pure gold, my brother. Tell me where you're from. Timmy Kramer, thank God I never married. Men have to fight the courts just to see their kids. Timmy Kramer, the forever bachelor, laying it down at Chinatown. You have to call big government to see your kids. Does that make any sense? That was my biggest gotcha. I had to knock on the door of my house that I bought, that I provided to see my kids. I used to have PTSD. It hurts. PTSD is a way to get over that is to move and speak with like-minded people. It helps. But we're good to have you. Eddie A, take up hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, biking, and leave those strags alone. Laying it down at Chinatown, says Eddie. Cough like in the song. In the air tonight. Here, people are going nuts for Yep, Skittle governments are full of demons trying to eradicate men who stand against them. Exactly, guys. I mean, you stand up and you want to do the right thing, someone's going to take you down. It's unfortunate. Number two, after you have you don't show your cards, you let your emotions out, you let your feelings, how you feel, write a lot of that crap down and then burn it. Like, literally write down how you feel, call her whatever you want. Talk about any issue you want. Get it out on paper and then burn that mother effer. Talk to your buddies. You know, people that have been through it, people that can understand you. Good, solid people. Come to the chats, right? Move your energy. You have to physically move. And the best, you know, we talk about the gym, but there's other things you can do. Hike, bike, hunt, as Eddie A talks about. Okay? You move, right? And now here's the deal with kids. What are kids going to do? Kids are not dumb. Kids are not dumb. Remember that. Now, two of my kids didn't come with me. You know, they were older. They were teenagers. Not only did the ex and I divorce, but the kids, in a way, were divorced from each other. So how did I deal with it? I'll talk about that. I'll be 30 years old. 30-year-old in June. I'm pretty sure I don't look forward to getting a girlfriend, not getting married. Well, we don't recommend marriage, cohabitation, or children. But you are in a good position. Brad, could you please listen and comment on this video? I find it interesting. It's called Why All Marriages Are Doomed and Why Your Wife Gives Her Best Sex to the Guy She Cheats With by Ronin Man. Ronin Man. Actually, ask Timmy Kramer. Timmy knows Ronin Man pretty well. Maybe down the road, send me a link. Remember my first Navy deployment, seeing 17 men over the course of 11 months jump overboard to their death from getting their Dear John letters. Red pill is the only way, fellas. Be careful if you date. Dang, CJ. It's happening. Guys that get divorced and lose their kids, a lot of them self-delete. At least in a boy sense, they're not dumb. You know what? Most boys, I remember reading this comment a long time ago on Big John's. You're well said there, old Christian. And these two boys said that they had been alienated from their father. This one boy, he was like 25 at this point, and he was responding to one of Big John, MGTOW's Freedom's video, and he said that he was basically told that his dad was an idiot, a deadbeat, that the dad didn't care about him. And as he got older, and he believed the mother, you know, as he, 8, 7, 8, 9-year-old kid, and as he got older, he started seeing, I think his dad had showed up to some games. His dad was always loving towards him. He would send him presents. A lot of times the presents would not get to him. I think they lived a couple hours apart. Letters wouldn't get to him because the mailbox or the mail service was not working, right? He was unable to communicate with the dad because mom said dad was a deadbeat. Later in life, as he got older in high school, he started having an inclination and started seeing kind of some of the poisonous way his mother was dealing with him, constantly bad-mouthing the father. And the boy started using, I guess, logic and reasoning and realized his mom was not all there, not stable. And the moment he turned 18, got a hold of his dad, and now all he does is live with his father. They've rekindled their relationship, and he is so happy. And he's realized that he was completely bamboozled and poisoned by both the court, the system, and his mother. Marriage once is bad enough, but 2 and 3 times is more completely nuts. It's like you're going crazy when you're already nuts. Never cohabitate. There's only Tate. There you go. Gotcha. Spike's in the back. He's back in the chat. Spike. As a 17-year-old, I left gaming and started going on with my life. Going to get better due to the Red Pill community. Absolutely. You be part of these, Usman. You be part of these communities and chats and comment. I saw an old friend of mine say on Twitter, marriage isn't for sex, it's for having children. Does this mean he has a sexless marriage now? I would probably bet that he does. They can't cling to their mothers that long, Megatron. Well said, brother. CJ says not only does it mean that he's in a sexless marriage, he's the father of the year while his wife is given CPR. Banana smugglers for 300. The legendary John Boston is back. He knows what it's like dealing with kids in the system and the ex-baby mama. Okay, we got Ghost Pirate says, ahoy to you, brother. No Self says, in Southern California, lifelong surfer and filmmaker, so love living here for those reasons. I will be out there shortly, sometime in the first month or two of this year. But what happens today and in the past is not indicative of the future. Remember the guy that lost the boy that lost his father on that channel, and he had to wait 10 years as he was being told lies and lies and lies. As he was said his father didn't care about him, but his father did. And he had said that he spoke to his father, and every night, his father would think about him. His father would write letters. The letters would never arrive. His fathers would send money. Well, guess who cashed that? Never heard from. And the boy never received what was intended for him. So there is hope. It took 10 to 12 years. You take a look at people on our channel. Father Saunders did not see his kids for 836 days, I believe. I could be off 10 or 12 days, but 836 days. And when he did get to see his kid, and he's an amazing dad, when he did get to see his kids, he had to have it supervised by the system. Okay? So you got to stay stoic. How did he get through it? The same things we're talking about. I used to fall in love with my middle school girl. She got 2 kids now and happy to do. I, however, wish her kids don't do that. Can you believe it? She's got 2 kids and she's 30, right? Charlie says, you are the man, brother. Thank you for everything. Coming from Orange County, Fullerton, Irvine. Good to see you, brother. Make sure you listen to some Social Distortion. Write you children and save copies. If they don't receive them, you can give them in the future. Yes, subliminal. I would, yes. Write your feelings down. Write them letters. If you have pictures, look at those pictures. What happened yesterday and today is not indicative of future events. I got a guy that a real good friend of mine is my neighbor, 2 years older than me. The wife divorced him, took the 2 boys. They don't even talk to the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, the cousins. She has completely poisoned them. And I said, Earl, these kids are going to come back. They're 2 boys. And she's poisoned them against everything, used the court, everything to just destroy this man. I said, just hold on. Continue with your life. You have not left. They left you. Remember that. You didn't leave them. They left you. Kids come around most of the time. Women lie as if they are talking to a child, and the child is 20 now and sees what happened. My ex kept my kids from me for over 100 days. I just think that's what a lot of ladies do, and baby mamas, just to make them out look better. But it always, for the most part, will implode in the end. Because now apparently a lot of these kids that I've talked to who are now rekindling with their father, they don't even talk to the mom. A personal friend of mine, these kids can't stand the mom. What if your woman is loyal? Is marriage still a no? I would say a 1% to 2%, but I don't recommend marriage, my brother. Not all turn to son husbands. I think some are blessed with red pill progenetics. They will wake up eventually. Mr. Sammy is back. Yeah, absolutely, brother. You are absolutely right. Good to see you, Mr. Sammy. Waffling literally said hello. Kiss my duck. Ha! He's a waffling. How do I get one of those hats? Exiting the Matrix. I got to figure out something to do with that. Exiting the Matrix. Hang in there. One of my time, my middle school girl wanted me back, even though she has kids. Yeah, she wants you back because guess what? She got the Chad. Now she wants that she wants to get the guy that the Forrest Gump, and a lot of we're not the first for our ladies, that's for sure. No whining, but men never get a fair shake. You fight like hell just to see what you created, let alone raise. Yeah, my middle child, who is a boy, has been coming back the last couple of years. We do a lot of more stuff together than we ever have. Ed says, hello, Rad. I washed my hands of the situation. Wife took my child. Mary, the captain, save a hoe. The court's back, so I'm out. Her day will come one day. Yes, but my brother, you have had some challenges. We've talked about that. Hang in there. Move. Be part of these communities. And know that you're always there. Remember, you did not leave them. They left you by their mother. Baby mamas create the dramas. It's simple. Well said, Megatron. Average women is so detrimental to a man's wealth, finances, well over being that marriage legally should be considered self-harm in 23. You gain absolutely nothing from commitment to the straggles. Well said, CJ. Check out CJ's channel. Charlie says, from Orange, the heart of Orange County, the energy is here. Nothing wrong with Anaheim. I've just sent you an email and the link. All right, brother. I will check it out. Like having a girlfriend is no big no in my culture. So how to spread seed? Well, okay, yes, your culture. I mean, in the sense that, some of these religious countries, there could be a potential that it would work, but Western influence is happening, and I don't recommend it, my man. I don't recommend it. And I know that you guys can't be having premarital relations. Joara says the courts sound brutal. Oh, you don't want to be there. You're absolutely right. Fun fact, rad guys, their chick wants to cheat on her boyfriend, it says on the internet. It's, disloyalty is transparent now. Gerald says no notification. That's interesting because I put this out 15 to 20 minutes before. Unsubscribe, Gerald, and resubscribe. That's probably it. Timmy C is a legend. Heartbreaking stories from the brothers. This is how we get through it. No Self said he deleted all of his comment. Well, you know what? That went around saying they were going to find people. Who knows? I mean, YouTube is run as a liberally owned media, and you have no idea what's going to happen. They could potentially wipe us all out, and a new crop will start. Look at Hammerhand. He's on his, fourth iteration of his channel, and he keeps coming back. Sometimes the internet should never existed. Yeah, it's caused a lot of vision. Father Saunders, Jared's back. The courts and the X were very, very brutal indeed. You want to hear a scary story? Listen to Father Saunders. This is what we're talking about. Now he's got his kids. He's hanging with his boys. He's making food. He's boxing. They see a strong man who stayed strong. Never show your cards to your kids, or never show those emotional cards to your kids or the ex, ever. Let it out with men. I create an email account for my, good to see you, Jared. I create an email account for my 4-year-old son, and every day I send him a different video, message, and or creation that he'll give to his 18. Oh, that's it. Great. That's a great example. That is a great example. Or write letters or write a journal. Your time will come, folks. Your time will come. Young men, every society in this age uses men's biology against them. Unplug, walk away, control your biology, or they will control you with it. Well said, Ghost. Check out Ghost Pirate's channel. Women mirror back to you who you are. Once their mask falls off, they rage and bring all the hell with them. Correct. Well said, Gerald. Having chicks won't fix divorce. It won't. It won't, guys. It's not recommended. We're not telling you not to. We say it's not recommended. Why isn't this wisdom taught to young men in high school? Timmy Kramer. We should gotta teach it now, Timmy. I like UC's prenup idea. Get the women to say the N-word on camera and or other things that will get them socially erect in society, with the understanding if they leave, it gets exposed. Kevin McAllister, good to see you. Body count goes up, long-lasting relationship percentage goes down. Statistical fact, and young women are unaware of it. Well, they can't join, they cannot pair bond. That is the problem. More partners means less pair bonding, means that 1,000 cc stare means dead eyes. Some women are so hateful that they grow greater resentment towards you for being a better father, even if she 100% contributes to y'all not being successful. Well, women, if you're a good dad, this is what I've realized. If you're a good dad, they don't like it because their narrative goes out the window. Remember? Everybody say it with me. We're all deadbeats. We're all deadbeats. So if you're a good man, doing the best you can for your kids, even though you can't see them, she'll never like that because it goes against the deadbeat narrative. But she can't hold on to that narrative for a long time because guess what? Kids will get smarter. Now with girls, I'm still dealing with mine. I don't know what will happen. Who knows? She said, Happy Father's Day, and gave me a Christmas present, which is a miracle. But we still don't really talk. We don't chat. It's very awkward, but who knows? Showing emotions to your woman will lose respect in front of her. Yes. And if you are ever dating a woman, never show your damn emotions. They're not equipped to deal with it. My ex once said the Philippines is a shithole. Hypergamy, guys. I wouldn't mind going to the Philippines, checking it out. Baby mamas who push their kids away from their father deserve sleeping bags in the deepest portion of blank. Why ruin the next generation because you're bitter and petty? Fathers are important. Well, I think the courts are realizing, again, it's a system. The system is rigged for money. Follow the money. Good to see Scotty Side from Beaverton, Oregon, our in-house Giga Chad with FJT. Good to see Scotty. Check out Scotty's channel as well. But that's the reality. We are dealing with a system that we're all deadbeats. We don't leave our kids. They left us. And they left us typically 99% of the time because of baby mama. Remember, kids are prizes. That's what my attorney told me. Your kids are her prizes. She won them. Good to see Scotty. I'm going my own way forever. They're not worth it. We men are on our own. No one will help us in the courts. And Ed, you're absolutely right. You don't want to be in the court. You've been through it. I've been through it. Many men have been through it. No surprise, Christian Henney, a woman posing with 5 men. 304 for 300, Trebek. Yeah, man, niche who doesn't kill you makes you stronger, the truth. So that's how we deal with it. We stay strong. We do not let our emotions out. We hold our cards. We are professional poker players in front of the courts, the kids, and the exes. We show our kids that we're always happy to see them, loving them, hugging them when we see them, the opportunity, tell them that we love them, that we think about them if we can't see them, and so forth. We write our feelings down. We put up email accounts like CJ where we send emails to our kids if we can't see them. So on their 18th birthday, they have, 365 by 18, 6,000 messages. We share with other men that understand how we feel. We come to live streams that deal with it. There's no reason to bash we can't bash them. That won't do anything. That just keeps the energy negative. Any idea and statistics of men who choose wisely not to have kids, Rad? I mean, the writing's on the wall. Well, I think a lot of guys are realizing. Silver Bullet, check out Silver Bullet's channel. They're not interested. Philippines is the best. They're not interested in having kids anymore, right? They're not interested. It doesn't bode well for most men. 50 years of statistics and data based on divorce. Coach Greg Adams was right. She hates you more than she loves the children. I have not seen her new hairstyle yet, Jorn. Why prostitution illegal and alimony isn't? Why is prostitution? Because the courts don't get the prostitution money. That's why. Remember, death is good after we achieve success, wealth, health, and freedom. Top Floor, tuning in cooking. I have my girls this evening. Thanks for the support. Good to have you, Top Floor. Love your daughters. If you have sons and they are married, their wives will pull them away from you as well. My situation. I can see that happening as well, Eddie. My daughter was alienated for a year. She was unbrainwashed by telling her truth is what she sees and not what her mother is telling. She woke up. Well, Chili Pepper, you, my friend, congrats that I got a buddy like that whose 2 daughters were raised in a 50-50 custody for 2/3 of their life. He's been a great father, and he fought for them, and they're actually very good kids. And there's probably a little 304 in them, but that's just how they are. But both of them one graduated and works for a great company, and one is will be graduating in another 2 years, I believe. But he raised them well. At least they love their dad. That's an advantage going down the road if they want to get into relationships. But again, everything has been filtered through social media, and I'm a little worried about them too. Kids learn to manipulate to get what they want. My daughter and I rarely see each other or speak, but she comes to me when there's something she wants that my ex can't afford to get her. Kevin McAllister. I kind of feel that way. She'll just come to me if she needs me to fix her car. Never, hey, Dad, how are you? I've been thinking about you. It's like, Dad, there's a weird sound in my car. I'd rather take that opportunity. Yeah, a lot of people say, you know what, tough love, but you know what? I'm not going to be the one that walks away. Okay. I understand if guys do that, but I'm her father. I loved her when I cut that umbilical cord. She's my firstborn, but it's also an awkward situation. Yes, the prostitutes get all the money and their brothels, but the courts don't. That's why they love alimony. FJT is back. Our Giga Chad with Scotty Side. Check out FJT's channel, Exposing the Delusion. The Brazilian voicemail is terrific. He's got voicemails of gals that go absolutely ape shizzle. Fool Me Once says she'll hurt the kids to hurt you no matter how bad the damage. It is worth it to her. You know, that's another thing. Well said, Fool Me Once, and tell me where you're from. 100%. It's not about them. It's about how they can hurt you. Remember, people say, what is it? What's that damn kindness something kills? Kill them with kindness? Yeah, you got to literally believe that. You've got to believe that this investment that you're doing now within yourself and dealing in the interactions will pay off down the road. It might not be a week. It might not be a month. It might not be a year. It might be 10 to 15 years down the road. It might be when your two boys come back at 25. But their male brain will be there. Now, probably not all of them. I mean, look at Copper Cab. That guy was raised by a single mother and a grandmother. Women fall in love with the idea of you and despise the reality of who you are. The moment you choose to not tolerate their narcissistic and hypergamous nature, she can weaponize the kids against you. Well said. CJ, laying it down in Chinatown. They fall in love with the idea of marriage, you being a part of that because you're the masculine equivalent needed in that marriage, but they do not fall in love with you. And that's, men and women love differently. I mean, we will excuse bad behaviors, right? We'll excuse it in the name of love. But they don't. They love extremely different. Agree with you about daughters being brainwashed by social media. Funny thing is I have compiled a ton of red pill videos and the consequences of living as a 304. Well, I hope she is up to watching them. Those would be great, Chili Pepper. Manasseh. Sometimes I drop the bombs. You never know, brother. Do you ever meditate? I try, but I have a tough time keeping my brain from not thinking. Typically, when I meditate is when I'm riding my bike and I'm in a zone. Or I'm playing guitar or something. Just kind of in that flow. But sitting down and doing the it's a little hard for me. Lex Luthor, money and power. Not how the world runs, by money and power. Women says they get loyalty, but at the same time they want a cholo. There's no logic. See, they want an alpha and a beta all in one. Go watch that show on Netflix called Sex Life. She marries a beta but wants the Chad and goes back to the Chad. My daughter was texting friends that if I tried to take her from her mother, that she would tell the judge that I was a blank to get me in trouble, so all she could get her way. That happens all the time. If she wants that car and you don't buy it, she'll say something. That's another tactic, unfortunately. It's disgusting if you think about it. Social media is a house of validation for women, period. I agree with that statement, Usman. Once we ignore the women, they will marry the simps, but it won't stop. Now, they only marry the simps for it's easy. They get what they want. They can control them. Then they'll get tired and have an affair. That's what happens. The Brazilian was a great catch. This is why we need to become passport bros to wife these submissive foreign. Oh, I just wish guys would realize female nature is female nature. It doesn't matter where they live. It's borderless. It's languageless. Now, some cultures have not caught up to the Western civilization as of yet, but I think in the next 18 to 24 months, since the internet and Instagram and TikTok and OnlyFans, it's everywhere. I've seen it. I've seen it in remote areas of Guatemala. Ex-girlfriend of mine once took my combat PTSD as a joke to her friends after we got into an argument. I never opened up to a woman since. They can't intellectually comprehend a man's pain. Well said. Never share with a woman how you feel. Unless she's your mother. But that could also be an issue as well. Share with your friends. Share with male counterparts. I think a lot of, and I got into that mistake being married and shared with her too much. I thought she was my better half. I thought she was on my team. I thought she was in the canoe, but she was poking holes in my canoe as I was paddling it. Hence exactly what CJ talked about. The Bible said, give her nor ways to destroy your kingdom. Well said. D-Man's up. Good to see D-Man posting CJ's channel. You guys check it out. It's got good stuff. Are you your own central bank like Jeremiah Babe suggests? No, because I don't have a mattress big enough. It's not just female nature. It's just worthless to gain honor and integrity to the ground. What you say about Harry and Meghan thing playing the race card now? A lot of these folks just do that for attention. That's all. They just want attention on them. Different hardware, same software, no matter where you go. Well said, Polska. Well said. Different hardware, same software. Laying it down. He's also the wrench for Bandmate. Check out FJT's channel. Check out Polska's channel. Polska does some great streams if you're up late at night. Results oriented. Hail from the highway. Good to see you. When is your next trip to South America? Want to hit up Colombia? I want to go back to Colombia. Maybe this year. But stay out of the areas like Medellin. And they all know you're coming. There's a rumor that feminists are satanic and Lilith. She was first. Yep, it's folklore, Jewish folklore. But anyhow, going back to Colombia, stay out of Medellin. I mean, if you really want to, Bogota is New York City in Spanish. I'd stay out of Cartagena. Bucaramanga, Barranquilla, maybe. But Barranquilla is where a lot of deletion is. Idiots don't know what they're doing out there. Cali, C-A-L-I, is that how you spell that? Cali is cool. San Rafael. Gonna stick $350K under the mattress. I hope the house doesn't burn down. Even the biggest Bible characters fell victim to women's nature. Adam, Samson, David, and Solomon. Yes, even the greatest men today. Well said, Manasseh. Most Hollywood actors are abusive and boring. Yep. Most young husbands today are merely starters. Husband's a bag, a wallet, a means to an end. Sorry to be a doomer. Hey, it's the cold, hard truth, isn't it, Mr. Sammy? You're absolutely correct. You're right, Brad. I was talking with a cool Muslim guy in the Middle East. He told me that womanism is slowly spreading over there also. You're absolutely right, FJT. I mean, they have Android and iOS, and wherever Android and iOS is, that's where 304 and the CC is alive and well. Walking is one of my hobbies, and when I think about it, it helps so much. I love to walk. Walk 3 or 4 times a week, an hour at a time. Just think, listen to some tunes, just chill, listen to nature, watch people watch cars drive by. I have not yet. I need to check that out. I will today. Come to Pakistan. Let's hang out. I'd love to go and eat. I love Pakistani food. Good stuff. But is it safe? How can a man lead when women and kids know what they can make false alligators to absolutely destroy him? Men have been bodily disempowered by false alligators. That's it. That's an issue. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm still. Mine brought up false alligators too. You can't escape it, whether you're a loving father. If they want to destroy you and hurt you, they will find ways to do it with them and their kids and your kids. Agree with that statement, old Christian. Hi, Rad. Like CJ said, it's all a business. There's no place for emotions in divorce. You got to have ice in the veins if you don't want to get crazy. I would agree with that. You got to be stoic. If your wife wants a divorce, she is your number one rival. She's your number one rival. You want to beat her at all costs. She wants to beat you at all costs. There's no niceness anymore. My attorney said this: if you're nice or the opposite of nice, you'll still get the same result. She still wants the same result. So don't be nice. Just follow the order and what you want and let your attorneys fight it. Well said, QS. Good to see you, brother. I can't stand that gal. Again, another pawn of the Skittles movement and the libs. Yep, it's safe now. Many bloggers come here. You can, all right. Wouldn't mind going. One thing for sure is Norway promotes peace. Yet, prawn is free on the internet. Interesting. Well, I mean, it is what it is, right? These channels are about warning men that have been through it, men that have seen their fathers or their brothers or their friends go through it, like Timmy Kramer. It's about helping guys that have been in situations where their kids have been taken from them. Their kids left them because of the baby mama, not because the father left them. Very few men, I believe, will leave their kids on purpose. I can understand why guys just give up. They don't have money to fight. It's emotionally draining, and they leave. Now, there are men that are DBs, right? Bags, douchebags. Never give up. The world needs you. There's a lifeline again. Thanks, D-Man, brother. I say keep your sanity. You can only help your kids if you are mentally strong. Well said. Be happy around your kids. And if it's tough to be happy, just keep the conversation very light. Don't talk about anything. If anything, small talk. There's so much 304, 604 photos of chicks getting, yep. Yeah, they're all over the place, brother. Slam is back. Luckily, my ex-wife was no-show at the custody hearing with my son every day. Yes, you should do a story on your life, Slam. Check out Slam's channel. There you go. D-Man's already putting it up. Look out. You guys check out Slam stuff, little small short videos with great knowledge and experience. Have you subbed to Dad Talk on YouTube? I believe I did. I collected dirt on my ex off of Facebook where she was telling lies about me to everyone, and I printed it out. I didn't have an attorney and used it to force her attorney to settle on my terms. Wow. That sounds like John Boston. Good for you. And I'm glad it worked, because typically that would not work. Too many prawn. Yep. Pearly not as hot as the man as fair claims. Again, when a woman talks about men's issues, I'm just challenged by the motive. Rad, why do they post? They want, well, everything they post on the internet will come back to haunt them. They want attention and validation. It's really that simple. Why do women do what they do? For the external validation of others, for the attention of others, for what they can extract from others. Yes, they do, Usman. Only thoughts. I think it's disgusting. I think it's discussion. There's Dad Talks. Dad Talk today from D-Man. Madonna continues to seek external validation at her 64-year-old age. It's sickening that you have to spend a bunch of money and go against a judge to fight for your kids. Let that sink in. Well said. And a lot of these judges and attorneys that are fighting the man are men. Awesome, Polska. Sub out to Slam's channel as well. Guys, remember, you are the prize. My philosophy is this: let them come to you, whether your wife or kids. There is no reason to give power to an ex-wife by getting angry in front of them, by getting mad, by getting vindictive, by doing mean things to yourself because you're upset. The best way is to be strong and work on yourself, because that's what you want to do for yourself. This is an investment in time and self-care and self-improvement. If you don't see your kids, eventually they will come around. Eventually they want to know about Dad. Why did Dad leave? I remember having this conversation with my boy. He asked me a certain element during our divorce, and I said, well, that's what your mom said. Let me share you my story. He heard my story. I did not lambaste her. I said it from my perspective, and then he knew. It's good to know it wasn't my fault that they left. I didn't leave them. But I think my daughter knows that baby moms destroyed our family of 16 years. And it happens all the time, Ed. And I got to tell you, you're not special. And I don't say that sarcastically or angrily. I just say that because we're a community of men that have experienced this. And we didn't leave our kids. They left us. But we've never left them emotionally, mentally, regardless, right? Respect for all men. Absolutely. You're always Johnny on the spot with the channel links. Yes, he is. D-Man knows what up. So that's where we're at. We stay calm. We move forward. We share with others. I've had multiple guys reach out, men of all ages, 18-year-old to 75-year-old, men that have been married, that haven't seen their kids for years. One guy said he hadn't seen them for 30 years. Still haunted him today. 30 years later, they're like 40. And then he had responded later and said one of them reached out and they were rekindling what they had lost for 30 years. But that love of a father never went away. And that person came around eventually before the end of life. And now they can start a relationship. And he asked me what to do. I said, don't throw it back on the ex-wife. It's already happened. They already know. The mother, they already know what happened. If you were such a bad guy, would you even have opened and taken their phone call or their email or opened the door? That says it all right there. A bad guy that didn't want to see their kids, that left their kids because he couldn't stand being a father, would never have even answered the phone. You're right. It's hard to be a man. It's even harder to be a father, and it's even harder to be a husband. Unfortunately, we live in a time where it's not recommended to be married, have kids, or cohabitate. Women marry simps. I see it all the time. Remember, you are not her first love or first desire if you're married. She's always settled. At least 98% of them. Okay, I'm not 100%. I'm not a fatalist in that regards. Base camp is here. Manosphere is for men. Couldn't have said it better, my brother. Now, if ladies want to comment from their perspective, being married and having sons, great. If they've seen the destruction of courts based on them, great. But when you're putting up a channel talking about men's issues, I just have a suspicion. Pouring a glass of scotch now, I'd like to propose a toast to all the incredible men in this chat for making it 2023. With so much against us as men, we choose to live. It's a beautiful thing. Cheers to you with my soda pop, CJ. Well said, brother. Mine is 40 and haven't seen her since she was 6. I dream about her every week at least once. Hang in there, Gerald. Hang in there. Patience. Old Christian, I think she probably does. But would she ever take accountability for it? No. Marriage for man, high risk, low reward. Couldn't have said it better. Okay, who we got here? Kevin says, men in power will pander to women for money and power. Joe Biden created to win the female vote. How many men can support him is mind-boggling. If you are a man that supports a liberal politician or a liberal agenda, you are a weak man. Strong men vote conservative or libertarian and do not vote for weak men. I want to see some simps go on that Dad Talk YouTube. Bless their hearts, but both of those fools are out there playing Sub-Daddy Health and Wealth. Sub-Daddy. There you go, brother. Good to see Ishi. Good to see you, brother. He's been around the 304s working in hospitals. He sees the exact prototype or the photocopy of the gal I met, married. Saw a study from Men's Health that explains how the vagina was the root cause of 85% of all incarcerated and or deleted men for almost 40 years, 30 years. That's very scary, and we must choose to be red pill. There's no, I would absolutely believe that most incarcerated men are behind bars because of a female. whether they're stealing to get money to buy expensive gifts, whether they've deleted somebody because of jealousy, what have you. Well said. Check out Father Saunders' channel, guys. It's got great content. Happy New Year to you as well. This includes our own daughters, mothers, grandmothers, aunts. Please remember that. And you know what? Unfortunately, I have to be a realist when it comes to my daughter. She's not part of the 1% to 2% I talk about. I tried to steer her in the right direction, but I was considered abusive and controlling. You know, it's unfortunate. Married couples are the further. I think a lot of men side with feminists because they want to keep the peace, and they're also weak. If a strong man is married to a woman in today's world, in the 98%, he's considered abusive and controlling. Oh, awesome, brother. You got all of your videos backed up. Back when you're working out. Rad, you were with the nurse. Tell me about most useless scrubs ever. I told my boss that as a man, it's a show every day. They're definitely notorious for monkey branching. Yes. When I married her, I was excited I was marrying a nurse. I thought that was awesome, right? Oh my gosh, she's a nurse. She's sexy. Little did I know the reality of nurses. Pineapple Smash is here. I know that Pineapple Smash. Was he considered controlling and abuse? I know he's laughing. Pineapple Smash was the one who helped me with my couch when my fingers were bloody. He's a MMA dude. Don't want to mess with him. I wonder what Dr. Phil thinks about MGTOW. Well, probably not a lot because he needs his female audience to keep the advertising revenue coming. So I'm sure he'll throw quite a few men under the bus so he can get his women viewership. Jason Reed is back. Just heard about the guy in Utah who offed himself, a couple hours away after she filed for divorce. That's interesting. Interesting. I know they're an Mormon family too. I looked at a couple of the pictures. I thought it was out of control. I looked at the house. The house looked nice. He was an insurance guy. So I'm sure he made a minimum 6 figures. I'm trying to figure out that story, but I had no idea of the divorce. Good to see you, Jason. You're abusive and controlling right up until that car needs to be repaired. Stop enabling her and tell her to kick rocks. You're absolutely right. It's starting here too. If you say your own daughter, sister, mom, anything, people will make fun and shame you. It's everywhere. It's happening everywhere, guys. Even in Pakistan, as Uzman said, Adam was banished from the Garden of Eden because of Eve. You're right, Base Camp. He actually fell because of her. Father Saunders was married to a nurse. I didn't remember that. I should know that. Bill Maher and Trevor Noah. Yep, it's all about who watches most of these TV shows. Men are out doing shit. Women. My sister's home backs the country club driving range. I'm hitting balls and listening. Good for you, Timmy. Marriage is promoted to keep men in the rat race. I would agree with that statement. Good to see Patriots 1. Check out his channel. YouTube changed the TOS again. Terms of service. It's been difficult to leave based comments. You got to watch what you say. Absolutely. If it's hard to trust women, it's also hard to trust men who have been bewitched by women. Yes. It's what it is, Rad. All the women in my family are also like that. I had to accept this hard truth years ago. No hate, just understanding. Pineapple Smash. Abusive and controlling. Degeneracy is common nowadays. Devil is roaming in our homes. So is the family court system. Be careful. Co-parenting can get you deleted by mama or her current enforcer. Every visit, every handoff, every pickup. It could be your last. And I don't fault guys that walk away. I mean, that could potentially save their life, right? Notice how daughters only love and miss their dads when he dies. Then he used the death to gain pity and attention on their FBA fake book pages. Told people for years he was abusive. But now I miss my daddy in heaven. Yeah, then they go back to daddy. Complete facts. Absolutely, D-Man, for Sammy. I grew up skateboarding as well, Rad. It really taught me a lot, not giving up to be independent. Yeah, skateboarding, doing those things that are challenging really pushes people. MMA, boxing, hiking, Father Saunders boxes with his boys. I almost proposed to a supervisor in a hospital. Oh, they're worse. And I deal with them. A lot of the executives in hospitals are women, and you could imagine the challenges working with the ladies. Check out Patriots channel. Mile High Ronin is back. My ex-wife is a resident nurse and hairdresser. Is she redheaded as well? That would be a triple trifecta in the crazy hot matrix. I stopped being a patriarch since women are designed to destroy the voice of reason. Most of them don't have a lot of reason. They run off emotions. If you want to destroy a country, make degeneracy common in adults. And then we're seeing it. We're seeing it everywhere. Look at the Health and Human Secretary of the United States. Used to be called Richard, is now Rachel. Skittles for 300, Trebek. Daughters never love their dad. Women can't love. I think they do in the beginning, then they're poisoned down the road. I work with nurses and I can sum them up with one word, says FJT. Easy. I got down with one the first week working there. Even the married ones were getting down with some of the guys at the job. I think you just described Father Saunders' wife, my wife, and Pineapple Smash's wife. Mr. Pliskin, vertical half pipes for 200. Only date young girls, they have daddy compliance with money. Good to see you, old man Odin. Peace out. Ishi Bank says, I want to see something scarier than a horror flick. Play the surveillance of these fat moms walking around a pediatric hospital. That would be very disturbing. Checked out Better Bachelor, where a man won custody of his daughters by claiming he now identifies as a mother. Oh, geez. But you know what? Use the libtard agenda against them. Why not, right? Churches are full of 304s. Sometimes I just want to go to the women. Religious women are some of the most notorious monkey branchers and hypergamous women of all time. They hide behind the Bible. Mine was apparently religious. Check out Slithering Snake's channel. When you can't beat him, join him, right? He might be doing it, and maybe he takes the mask off down the road. But you know what? Use libtardy against him. Can you imagine what the ex-wife thought? The dude turns into a lady, gets his kids. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. He probably takes all the wigs and makeup off after he doesn't when he's home. But you know what? That might have been a great. I bet he gamed the system. Who knows though? Okay, I want you guys to think, where does this come from? Which skit on MTV in the 90s? It's like you're going crazy when you're already nuts. Who said it? It's like you're going crazy when you're already nuts. In the church all my life, and I couldn't have a lower opinion of Christian women. Oh. Ask Pineapple Smash about Christian women. I refuse to be beta bucks any more than the state exhorts by guns. This absolutely includes my own family. No respect equals no resources. And you got to be ice cold. You got to lay it down to Chinatown. Tough love. No. You got to have routine and structure. You can't be a pushover with anyone. They hide behind the Bible. These people choose parts of the religion up to their ease. And I wonder if they hide behind, even in Muslim countries, the Quran. Adaptation is necessary for survival. And I think in the end, based on the programming, there's a survival component to women, why they do what they do. My lawyer during divorce told me your best chance at winning custody is to act like and talk like a mother. What does that tell you? What does that tell you right there? You know, guys get female attorneys as well. I think that's advantageous. It's all about how you can. It's all in court. It's who tells the best story, or who's the strong, or who is the most, who's more relentless. Learning to build hobbies is the best way to deal with parental alienation. Well said, QS. I know if I was sentenced to prison, I would identify as a woman. Attaboy. Me too. Then we can get to the women's prison. Men in dresses hurt women more than it hurts men. Make women beg to go back to normalcy. It's already happening. Skittles isn't really the problem. Feminism is. Transformers make women reject feminism. Yeah, if you see it like that, Kevin, that absolutely makes sense. I hope I empowered all. I think you have, Chili Pepper. The best we men can do is hope for respect. Society is incapable of living men. This includes all women and most children. Rad, is that a real legit report on cat litter in the bathrooms? Yes, it is. It is not. It is absolutely factual. It's happening in a lot of areas. You can't fight the system, but you can control your actions. Well said. I'm going to cut it off here in a minute, guys. This has been great. Why men won't marry? It's because men are Windows 98. They've received the memo. They do even teachers and politicians misuse religion. They quote the Quran. Next day, their nudes got leaked and they wear clothes. It's even happening in those highly religious countries, folks. The internet has toppled everything. The internet owns morality. My settling attorney for custody was female. I had to fire the first two. Attaboy. Attaboy, D-man. And you probably got a good, maybe a good outcome. Religion is the best business because it doesn't need any investment in easy gains. What about cat litter? They're putting cat litter in the bathrooms for the kids that identify as furries. This has been great, you guys. Have a great evening. Remember, stay stable. The moment you're not stable, they win. Peace out.